How to launch a business. So we got asked this question by a fan on our fan page on Facebook. Choosing a product and marketing it from scratch to something big. So how do you do that? So in this video I'm going to take you through some of the key points you need to hit to do this. So first off, let's start with don't make this mistake because it's a big one. Imagine for a moment that you're lost in the desert and you're parched and you're dry and you're thirsty and you've just got no idea where you are. Now, out of nowhere, a man turns up and he offers to sell you a heater. And of course you look at him like he's absolutely insane because the last thing you want is a heater. You want water, you want rescue, you just want to get out of this desert. And so whatever it is that you're going to make sure it's something that people want. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the triangle of power. And this is for taking something small and making it really, really big. And so the first key point is demand, which is really what we were talking about there. There's got to be a demand for your product or service. Now, don't get me wrong. We have to have trailblazing entrepreneurs that start something new and create something new. However, if you want to grow something big as quickly as you can, then the easiest way to do that is to tap into demand that's already there. Number two, you want to make sure that you've got leverage, because without leverage, you're just not going to be able to grow it big enough. And we're going to cover off in a minute some of the ways that you can leverage, but obviously you need leverage to grow something from something small to something big. And finally, it needs to be able to scale. If your business can't scale, well then it will start small and it will stay small. So it needs to be able to scale to take it from something small to something really big. So let's start with demand, because obviously this is really important. And as I mentioned already, it's much easier to tap into it than try and create it from scratch. I'll give you an example. You've probably heard the saying, the best thing since sliced bread. Well, the thing is that what most people don't realize is that sliced bread actually took about 30 years to take off. The person invented it, couldn't sell it, no one wanted it, they didn't really understand it, and in the end it was a sideways sale whereby people bought bread in America with vitamins in it, vitamins and minerals added to it, and it just happened to be sliced. And then of course sliced bread took off and everyone wanted sliced bread. But it's often about taking an existing product, an existing service, and tweaking it and meeting a gap in the market which is not currently being met. And so I've just talked about something new, and so it's often better to take and adapt something, give it a tweak, put your own unique twist on it rather than creating something new. And we've got a follow-on video after this one, and I'll tell you about that at the end of this, which will give you some great tips on this as well. And finally, do some market research. And I know when people first talk to me about market research, I'd kind of, I don't know, lie under the desk and fall asleep. It's not exciting, it doesn't sound very sexy, but the fact is you want to do some market research because then you can find out what people want. And you can do that online and forums, or if you've already got customers, or if you've got maybe a list of people you can email, maybe friends or colleagues, you can email them and ask questions and surveys. And this is one of the most powerful ways of selling and creating something large. It's one of the most powerful ways you can do it. I had a client do some market research a few months ago and essentially found out exactly what the people wanted and turned that into money, literally by sending about 3 emails and making some follow-up phone calls to people who were interested. That was a 6-figure profit, so over $100,000 in profit from simply sending an email. Now she was selling a high-end program, but I've seen it done in small businesses and I've seen it done in large businesses, and I've seen it done to take you from being small to being big. And number 2, you want to be able to scale. And let's look at some of the ways you can do that. First off, you have to be able to grow your supply. If you can't keep up with demand, then you simply can't grow large. And now sometimes this can work against you, because particularly if, say, one of your unique selling points is that it comes from a very unique place, or maybe only a few people can make it or manufacture it, those sorts of things. What you want to work out is how big do you want to get, therefore what sort of supply do you need to have, and how do you meet that? Because often people think it's about being mass market, and sometimes it's about having a niched product that you can charge a nice high premium for, make good profits, and you can still get to the size that you want to. Your product is never for everyone. No product is for everyone. Even toothpaste, right? Everyone uses, well, hopefully everyone uses toothpaste, right? But the toothpaste companies all have different toothpaste. Oh, this one is if you've got sensitive teeth, or you like organic products. And so it's never about being everything to everybody. You've got to niche in. Number two, bring on partners. So have people that can help you promote. And this is one of the ways that I've grown a lot of my businesses from something small to something bigger, is by having partners that market and sell for me, and so that I don't have to do all the heavy lifting. And it could be partners that come in with money to help you get started in the beginning if you need capital. It can be all sorts of things, but you bring on partners to help you grow bigger more quickly. And number three, you want to have a correct business model. You want to have a business model that makes sense and allows you to scale and allows you to profit. And sometimes, if you want to get really big, you don't necessarily make any money up front. If you're someone like Facebook, you start and you're not making any money up front, so you get partners, they invest money, and then you grow. But you've got to have a business model that says, well, as quickly as possible, this is how we're going to monetize it. And I'll be blunt as well. Like, a lot of the marketers that I know, they simply won't wait as long as a Facebook. They don't want to. And you can build million-dollar businesses without waiting as long as Facebook. Know how much money you want and be clear on what you need to do to get it. And number three, you want to have leverage. And you want to have money, as I talked about before. You can bring on partners to give you money, which allows you to leverage up and do more and do it more quickly. And sometimes that's about having a decent profit margin as well. I've seen a lot of businesses grow by making sure that their profit margins are good from the start, and they reinvest that money into the business. Now, you want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for a trap, because I've seen this as well, whereby you keep reinvesting the money in the business and you're never able to pull it out yourself. Because you're like, oh, well, we want to keep growing, let's keep pouring money into the business. So you want to make sure that you can grow and still take profits and cash out of the business, because that goes in your pocket at the end of the day. Number two, you want to leverage on your customers. So you want to be able to get referrals from your customers. You want to be able to grow your customers through partners, through joint ventureship, through the media. The media is a great way to get leverage. For two reasons. Number one, it's usually free, so it doesn't cost you anything. Like, you have an interview, you do radio, you do TV. It's absolutely free, and it gets distributed very, very widely. And as well as that, it's also not perceived by consumers and customers as marketing. It can be marketing, but usually they perceive it as news or information, and so they listen more carefully, they pay more attention, and they're more likely to then go and buy from that message because it comes from a trusted source, the media. And number three, you want to leverage by getting other people to do the work. You don't want to do everything yourself. I've seen a lot of marketers do this, where they build their business by getting other people to do the work. They market and sell, they get other people to do the work because they want to be out there selling the business, growing the business, leveraging it up, getting it as big as possible. So they get other people to do the work for them. And of course they pay them for doing that work. And so if you want to grow large, you do not want to do everything yourself. It's simply not sustainable. Get some other people to do the work for you and leverage. So, what's next? Well, I'd like to ask you to become a fan of our fan page. There's a link right under this video, and we're really getting feedback, asking people what they want, and creating free videos like this one, answering your questions. And we've got clients that use it to make a lot of money, and we've used it in our businesses to make a lot of money as well. So we've got the credibility to back this up, and we'd really like to help you have an amazing business. So click on that link and become a fan. I'd love to see you on Facebook. And number two, when I was preparing this, I realized that we had a video that we did a little while ago that was all about copywriting, and there's a lot of great marketing tips in there about how to grow your business, how to position yourself, how to sell your product. And so I've got a link to that under the video as well, and of course absolutely free, no opt-in, anything like that. So become a fan. I'd love to hear from you on Facebook if you've got any questions, and check out the copywriting video because that's going to help you take it to the next level. Thanks and have a great day.